The mood in the fan base this morning is fascinating. Not despair, not fury, but something almost like calm defiance. After everything that happened against Bayern, fans are not panicking. They are calculating.
Calculating. That's the word, Tio, because I've been processing the comments all morning and the dominant energy is not "it's over." It's "we've done this before." One fan put it perfectly, they said, and I'm translating this: there's nothing left to lose, and that can actually give us some peace, because you can't sit back and speculate anymore, you just have to win. It'll be very hard, yes, but as Arbeloa said, if there's any team that's already done it, and they just leave it hanging there. Beautiful.
And that Arbeloa reference is interesting because yesterday, we noted that the fanbase's relationship with him is complicated, but right now, his quote about Madrid being the team that has already pulled off the impossible, that is landing really well with people who want to believe.
There's even one fan joking, and this is great. They said Edu Aguirre tomorrow, Arbeloa brings them breakfast. Which is this beautiful image of the coach showing up to the TV studios with pastries just to make a point. The fans are in a weird, darkly humorous place right now, and honestly, I respect it.
The Remontada belief is real, but it's not naive. Fans are threading a needle between genuine hope and awareness that Bayern are a very good football team. The ones who are fully bought in are saying things like, "I choose to believe, Vini, Mbappé, Güler, Bellingham, all of them, it can be done." That's a conscious, deliberate act of faith.
And then you have the other side. One fan quoted Casquero, a pundit, who said, "It's Madrid in the Champions League, but Bayern are the better team." And you know what? That's also a fair read. The point is, the fan base is holding both things at once. They're not delusional, they're just Madridistas. Vamos.
Now let's talk about the Vinicius discourse because it has shifted meaningfully in the last 24 hours, and I think it's really worth unpacking for listeners who've been following this storyline all week.
Madre mia, yes. Because after Mallorca, after the Bayern first leg, Vinicius was getting some heat too. Not as much as Mbappé, but it was there. And now fans are coming back and defending him hard.
One fan wrote, and this is a direct translation, "Let me remind everyone that yesterday Vini left Mbappé one-on-one twice, and the Frenchman didn't score either one, not until he only had to tap it in because of the pass from Trent. It's easy to always point at the same person." That comment is getting real traction.
And that's a legitimate point. The Mbappé goal, which was magnificent, don't get me wrong, it came from a Trent assist. Vinicius was doing the work on the left, creating space, drawing attention. The narrative that it's always Vini's fault when things go wrong and never his credit when things go right. Fans are pushing back on that hard.
Another fan simply said, "Even the greats have off nights. We'll see the second leg, but always with Vini." That's the core sentiment. He is not in question as a Madridista, even when the performance isn't there.
And look, we have to be honest. Vinicius against Bayern was not his best night. He started, he worked hard, he didn't have the decisive moment. But fans are contextualizing it. They're saying the whole team was inconsistent, not just one player. The scapegoating instinct, which we've talked about all week with Mbappé, fans are now applying that same skepticism to anyone who tries to pin it all on Vini.
Right, and there's a maturity to that. After days of Mbappé is Valladolid level, which, que barbaridad, that was brutal, some fans are stepping back and saying, actually, let's think about this properly before Munich.
Now, and I have to bring this up because it is everywhere in the comments, the refereeing discourse. But here's the twist. This time, it's not about Madrid, it's about Barcelona, and the fans are absolutely delighted.
The Champions League gave us a Pau Cubarsí red card, and the Barcelona faithful are apparently stunned that a referee actually gave it. One fan wrote, absolutely dripping with sarcasm, "Pau Cubarsí thought he was in La Liga," which is devastating.
And then another fan goes even further. They wrote, "Without Negreira, there's no party." After they didn't give a clear red to Fermin in the league, it's normal that people think the Cubarsí one isn't a red. Tio, that is a loaded statement. The Negreira case is back on the table. The double standard argument is fully alive.
And fans are drawing the explicit contrast. One commenter said, "When Madrid play in the Champions League, the referees actually referee properly. In La Liga, they favor Barcelona." That's the conspiracy in one sentence, and it's being said with complete confidence.
There's also this beautiful moment of schadenfreude. One fan talking about Jordi Alba's face when Barcelona went out, saying, "Another year, you leave the Champions League early." The Barcelona pain is genuinely bringing Madrid fans joy this morning, and I will not pretend otherwise.
And there's a fan who mentioned the Spanish commentary team, Carlos Martinez and company, saying they went quiet when Madrid were playing well against Bayern and only praised Bayern when they cleared the ball. The anti-Madrid media narrative is always lurking underneath these conversations.
It never goes away, Tio. Never. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room, Girona tomorrow, La Liga. Because theoretically, this is a football club that also plays in the domestic league, and yet, the fans could not care less.
The La Liga discourse is essentially dead. There is almost no fan energy directed at tomorrow's match against Girona. The entire conversation is Munich. The second leg, the Remontada. Girona feels like an administrative task.
Which is wild, because Girona are not a bad side. But the fans have mentally left the building on La Liga, and I understand it completely. The title race, as we've been covering all week, feels effectively over in the minds of the supporters. They're not wrong to feel that way.
The practical question for tomorrow's match is squad management. Arbeloa has to keep players fit and sharp without risking injury before Munich, and fans are broadly aware of that, even if they're not debating it loudly. The Mendy news is interesting background context. He's been training with the group, which is good news for the left flank options going forward.
And the Raúl Asensio story is fascinating. There were reports about a disagreement with Arbeloa that led to his absence from squads, apparently ending with Asensio apologizing to the dressing room. That is the kind of behind-the-scenes drama that fans find irresistible, even if it's not dominating the conversation today.
For now, though, tomorrow's episode will be our pre-match show for Girona. We'll dig into the lineup questions, the squad rotation debate, and whatever the fan base is feeling by morning. Then, of course, the match itself is tomorrow evening.
And look, the mood I want to leave listeners with today is this. The fan base is in a surprisingly good headspace. Not blind optimism, not despair. Just that particular Real Madrid energy that says, we've been here before and we know what this club is capable of. That is the Ruido Blanco today. Hala Madrid, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.